Hello and welcome back to the grid. Welcome back to Let's Build a Megazord, to box number 6 and magazines 21 to 26. I unpacked everything so far, have it here close by to show you what we get this time. As last time, spare batteries. I addressed an issue with that in the past with the first 2 or 3 boxes, and I don't know if everybody gets those or just people who had issues and reached out to the support. If you collect that yourself, as I asked last time, let me know in the comments if you have extra batteries or if you don't. Speaking of extras, we get, besides the typical magazine stuff, if you are premium like me, some goodies. A smaller box, and people who know and watch this stuff or collect them themselves, they know what it is. That's the second half of the base plate. So we will build that first. And speaking of goodies, here's a shirt which came on with the box today. I will swap that out with mine I'm wearing in a sec, off camera of course. Sorry, no fan service. And show that off there on the building table side in full glory. It's only size large. I reached out to the support before shipping. I asked them, can I address my size somewhere? They said, we only have large shirts, which is fine with me. I wear that size, that's good. So yeah, if you're a bigger or smaller size, I'm sorry for you if you collect it yourself. And then, as always, we get the magazines. As you can see, 6 total, 21 to 26. We need those in a moment to build everything. There's the manual inside. And speaking of inside the box, this is number 21. We continue with Triceratops. Here are the horns in there, all chromy, and they're not so heavy, so they're just plastic, which is fine with me. 22. Oh, sorry. That's also plastic. It's the shield. And here's my my sword. No, I'm laughing because this is number 23 and I've seen that. And on a small preview picture, this looked like the blade from the power sword out of the fire. Well, looks like a sword somehow, right? Then we have number 24. Which we've done with Triceratops at that point with the first 3 magazines of this box. And we get the Tyrannosaurus, which is pretty nice. I want to complete the first half that we have already, the insides of Megazord's head. And speaking of insides, well, the outer shell in this case, here's the biggest thing for today, which are the Tyrannosaurus parts. Looks pretty interesting. I'm happy that you have that, and we'll see how that comes together. And then with those 2 done, we're continuing with body parts with number 26, which is not too much. It's the first, well, arm, or at least the first claw of the Tyrannosaurus, it looks like. And this is a bit more heavy because this is metal, it seems. I hope it's not too heavy in the end when the entire Zord is complete and drags everything down. We will see how that turns out. Anyhows, as always, let's swap over to the building table. Hello and welcome to the building table. And before we start building, here's the shirt as promised in all its glory. I like the design. The cloth itself is not too thick, not too thin. Really nice and feels good on the skin like itself. I've seen this design before. No sponsorship here, but I got on the door there, which you don't see at the moment, a display with a similar design from the website yaYsPllw.com, and that's officially licensed by Hasbro, so the display things are also officially licensed. If you want to get this as a display or something that I have, which you can see if you watch my room tour, which is on the front page, then yeah, feel free to check that out after this video. Pause it, watch that, and continue, or just watch this and then later on. Feel free what you want. Anyhow, before I blab too much, as always, here is the half of a tire wheel, well, the base plate for Megazord, which always when I see that let me see in like in future projection how huge that Megazord will be when it's done. It's 60 centimeters in height, which is quite a number. And here's the other half. This part, which is completed already, collected a little bit of dust. I needed to clean it. It's black, so that's an issue with that. Anyhow, that will be done today in a moment. And in future magazines, there will be the tribal coin, which comes on top. And as far as I've seen it in previews for this, it will be lit up with LEDs as well. So let's see how that turns out. Here we have some metal plating, these banana shaped ones and the square ones. Like last time, I think box number 3 or number 4, I'm not sure. Here are screws, by the way, all the same kind. We just flip this a bit, and this is relatively easy. You just connect those like so, not like I did with the where's what? Give me a sec. I think that's correct. Yeah, that's more like it. Sorry, I didn't check which part's what. And here's the last part where you just go, oops, slot it in. You have it aligned on the desk, and then you take the metal plating, which goes in certain directions. You cannot mess this up because it all has its proper space for that. Same goes with these. You just put them on here. Give me a sec to show you that. Oh, I do you one better. Like so. That means I will put everything together, make a quick cut, and show you the end results, because it's not too complicated if you have that yourself. It's just screwing in some screws, connecting some pieces, which are very easy. So, see you in a moment. Okay, I'm back in between. When you have this half connected with these square metal plates, you have to connect these two to a full-size circle before you can use the other metal plates, otherwise it won't work. So, see you in a moment. Okay, and that completes the first big half. Well, half is the wrong term here, I think, but that completes the big first part of the base plate in general. When you're done, it should look like this. Or on this side, it should look like this. As I said, this will be huge when Megazord's done. Here, the tribal coin comes on top with one of the next magazines. I don't know when. We will see when that's happening. But yeah, let's continue with the actual build with the head of the Triceratops. Let's start with magazine number 21 for today. We left off last time with number 20, completing this as far as it goes, the Triceratops, and we will continue that today. In here we have the chromey horns and some extra pieces, and we also have the chains. So when you remember from the show, the horns can be fired to get attached to an enemy and can be pulled, or they shown it off very briefly. Here are some screws in there. Let's get everything out. And we have chrome horns. They're not metal, they're plastic, which is fine with me. Otherwise it would be too heavy at some point. I said it before. I mean, this guy wouldn't have an issue with being metal with the horns. He's on the lower end. When Megazord would stabilize the Megazord, but like heavy wise, if it's more in the upper part, that could be a problem. But we have those, and we have the chains. So put that together to put it on there. You take one of the pieces with the bigger holes in here, not this one, with this one with the bigger holes, as you can see side by side. You have the chains. There's a ring on the end of a chain. In a sec. It's barely visible on camera. It's a really small ring. As you can see. And you take that part on the lowest end here. And then just like so. Boop. And click and done. Easy. Make sure you do that for both sides. And you end up with this. As you can see. Chains are not really visible on camera. I think that's okay. I guess that's okay like that. The next part will be a little bit tricky. So, we have two of these small blue boxes. One for the left side, one for the right side. That's a resting place for the chains when they're inside the head and not out. You have to attach that one, hold it. I hope the camera picks it up, give me a sec. It's in here, where my finger is. There's just one screw hole. We have two types of screws. One type of screw is a bit bigger than the others. Use the smaller ones. You have to prepare a screwdriver, put a screw on here, make sure this one has a magnetic pin, and then you have to hold that like so and screw it in. It's not easy, it's a little bit of fiddling around, but it works. I will continue that with the other half and we'll see you in a bit. When you're done, it looks like this. Here and here. The next part is this one. Goes on here like so. It's the support for the horns. You use the same screws like before, the smaller ones, like the ones with the smaller head. When you're done, it's time to attach the chains of the horns on top of here. There are screw holes left. There are three, 1, 2, 3, one in the middle, one on the left, one on the right, of course. And you take the horn. On the end is another chain ring, which is a bit smaller than the one before, which you attached inside the horns. And now you take the other screws with the bigger head size and screw that in there. Both horns are on there, on the chain as well. As you can see, when you screw this, don't use force and don't attach it too tight. Otherwise the small chain ring might come off and you have to repair that like I did. Last piece for this magazine is this one. It goes in between the horns. It's only one screw in the middle and you use the one with the smaller head. The result looks like this. And now we're moving on to magazine number 22. Magazine number 22. We're continuing with Triceratops. We take this little piece which looks like kind of like a bone, and then we have this metal piece which has a small end here and more of a like a bolted shape which goes in here. The smaller end faces you and it just gets inside. When you attach it, it should look like this. And you take this little piece which attaches to that one. After completing this step, it looks like this. and we have one blue piece left, which is this one, which attaches to the other metal half. When you're done, you have a construct like this, which looks a little bit weird. So it looks like a little laser cannon, if you ask me. Now it gets tricky. You take the back plate here for the head and align it that it slots in, and you have to screw it on here. You say, hey, that's not tricky. Yeah, correct. You have to take the battery before you slot that on, and you see this little, it's blue and blue, so I'm sorry if it's not visible right. You have this little, yeah, arm here, this little extra piece. Let's show more angle. And the battery goes in here, so it gets held down on that point. So you have to fixate the battery here. I will make sure that the battery works and charges before I continue. So let me figure that out. Otherwise I have to unscrew everything again, and I would be screwed. Okay, I just realized I can't do that, because electronics is in that part, in the next magazine. Okay, I have this battery from last time's build. I swapped the battery for the Mastodon's head out with one I had lying around. One I bought on Amazon with a bit more power, a big one, but I know this one charges, so I will use this one, build it in, fiddle everything together, and be right back in a moment. The good part is it's only one type of screw, and 4 screws, you're done. Should look like this, the battery, as you can see, and this should stick out here on the other side. The only thing now that we need to do is attach this. So let's do that. The back plate is attached. Should look like this. All sealed off. Make sure that the cables are facing downwards here for the next magazine. Speaking of which, let's continue with magazine number 23. Magazine number 23, we have this little box with this white trim, which goes on top of here, where the Triceratops is known for. We got some screws, another piece, one more, and one more, and another, and another. Electronics, a little board, and a really tiny blue piece, which is the button, which will be fun again. So the power button is always a lot fun. Fun. It's always hard to get those in. So let's start. We take this big white piece and this small yellow one and attach it to make it look like so. Behind this part will be the receiver for the remote that will be hiding here. We have just luckily another set of screws, which is one type only, which is good. So let's screw this together. Very fast. Looks like so on the back. 1 and 2. So speaking of 2, just 2 screws, as I said. Really easy. The smaller board with the sensor inside goes here on the back. Really easy. The sensor is facing outwards to the yellow orangey plastic. 2 screws, same as before. Next step, we take the head and this piece. There are 2 holes, the upper and the lower one. On the upper one, where the shield is, the cable goes through, and we just basically close the hood off and screw it together, of course. Push it gently down until it clicks, and here in the front are 3 holes. The middle one is where the screw goes in. After that, it looks like this. To complete the look of the Triceratops as we know it, we take the last horn, Triceratops, not 2 ceratops, and then just put it on there, push it down till it clicks, and you're done. Really easy. Let's move on to the next part. We take the last piece of plastic, which is this one, and the power button, insert it in the proper field for it, and then we take the board, align it, and screw the board to the plastic. This time it's relatively easy, so you cannot really lose the power button. It's designed better than the other pieces, if you ask me. After you're done, nothing falls off, looks like this, and also the button clicks. Very good. The last thing you have to do is attach the cables to the board, and there are two small ports here, a bigger one and a bigger one, like a really big one. So you cannot put the ports and, well, the cables in the wrong slot basically. If you have everything where it belongs, you just push it down, there's no screws needed, and you're done with Triceratops. Well, we will be in a moment. Okay, I'm done. This is the end result. As you can see, everything closed off. I brought a battery, which we just attached. And then, as you can see, the eyes are start glowing. They light up red. So, it's charging, it's working. As I told you last time, if this doesn't work, if the battery is broken, or the board or whatever, I think it's just the battery. When this is connected to power, to some source like this or computer, whatever, doesn't matter, and the battery is not good, it will die immediately. So you press the button, it will flash, like the eyes will light up shortly, and it dies on an instant. So this is done. Very nice. Goes to my head collection here. And I would say, let's continue with the next magazine, with number 24. Magazine number 24. We are continuing with the Tyrannosaurus. Everything out of the box, and first thing that I noticed, this is on a grid. The other ones didn't have that. It's fine with me, it's just weird how this changed over the course of assembling stuff. We have small pieces and big pieces, not many in numbers. We have some screws, and I assume we need Megazord's head in a moment as well. So let's see how everything comes together. Well, that has a power button. That's assembled already. That lights up separately. It can get interesting. It's just one type of screws again, and we take these pieces. Otherwise it would look weird, like the Tyrannosaurus looks really strange just being red. So put this together, 4 screws on the bottom, and we're good. 4 screws, as I said, we're done. Pretty easy. We free these 2 red pieces from the grid, and we take these LEDs and slide them just in, like so. No screwing, no nothing. They will get screwed to the head, and then they're good. Before I forget, align them like so. There's a little groove where the cable goes, and make sure that the LEDs face outward, which will be facing inward to the eye of the T-Rex. Otherwise you don't have lights on the eyes. 3D lenses of the eyes, these little blue ones, from the grid as well. And then just slot them in here. And next part is the red part with the electronics. put that over there and screw it together. I will show you the end results in a moment. That's pretty quick. As you can see, there are the blue eyes of the T-Rex, both sides. Cables looking outwards. All the screws in there, pretty nice, pretty fast. And the last step is inserting the teeth. Just one click, no screws needed. Boom. That was magazine number 24. Let's move on to 25. Magazine number 25. Almost done with the head of the T-Rex. As you can see, not many parts here. I think we're blasting through this, which is pretty nice. I love progress. And I assume when the electronic stuff is done in the heads, which is, I think, almost everything by now. Pterodactyl will have some, I guess. But when that's done, it will get easier because the complicated stuff is out of the way. So let's move on. Everything on a desk and two types of screws, but like really bigger ones and smaller black ones, silver and black screws. So no biggie seeing what is what. We take the first two pieces of the T-Rex's chin, the lower half, and just slide that together until it clicks. No screws needed here. After that, we take the cannon pieces as well, and there are some guide rails in here. The counterpart is inside here. You can see how that looks. And just slot it on. I mean, I could glue this, I guess, but I don't want to. I trust that this will hold. Actually, I changed my mind. I used glue because the magazine says, yeah, glue it. Ah well, reading sometimes helps. End results will be that. Once more, we have these rubber washers, these transparent ones, two of those. They go on the outer sides of the T-Rex's lower chin piece. One on the left, one on the right. It's barely visible because it's transparent, but as I said, one here, one here. Next we have in this plastic grid these pieces here, 4 of them, 2 like screwish ones. I don't know, they look like screws, like bolts. On the lower end we have something else, which is just, I don't know how to call that, but let's free that. We use the upper part of the T-Rex head and this piece, which goes on here. And we just use one of the small black screws. There should be small metal washers as well. I think I lost mine, but I assume that will hold anyways. So, let's find out. Well, I found them, but it works without them as well. So, they're like teeny tiny, I don't know if the camera picks it up, like small metal washers, but it works without them as well. And we do that on both sides, of course. When we're done, it looks like this. Next step is getting this together, basically. For this step, we have the lower piece, and we have these plastic bolts. They are very tiny. I hope the camera picks it up. On top of these plastic bolts go transparent rubber washers. They are in there as well. They are similar to the metal ones I misplaced for a moment earlier. And these go in here on the left and right side. I hope the camera picks it up. It's red on red, so sorry. So that it sticks out. When that's done, you can use the other part, put it together and screw it with one of the black screws. Also, the rubber washers come in pairs, so they go both ways. On the one side, on the bolt it goes in, and then on top, when it sticks out a bit, there's another. So when we're done, this looks like this. As you can see, this is movable, of course. Put that in place. The next part is to attach this one. So we have these holes left here. We just slide that in there, and then we have these cover pieces which go on top here. Now the T-Rex head looks complete, but it's not. You put one half in, and then you just bend it slightly and push it and wiggle a bit, and it's done. It's relatively easy, so no worries there. Let's attach the covers to fill this out and make it a complete look. When we're done, it looks like this. And as you can see, here is the screw. It's on both sides, just one, so holds everything together very nicely. The final touch for the day of this one is these plastic clips. If you take the cable and align it like so, there's a rail, like a guideline on the lower end, and you have these little clips here which hold everything down. When you're done, it looks like this. As you can see, the clips straighten it out, so when everything's inside, that the cables not get messed up in, well, when the head's moving and such. And now, finally, it's coming together. We need Megazord's head, put the ears back, and slot this in. You need these bigger screws, the silver ones. Here on the lower end, you can see there we need a screw on both sides. Finally, after 25 magazines, T-Rex's head is where we can do this. And this gets me excited to have the Megazord done finally. And this is just a T-Rex's head. So imagine how big T-Rex is in general. Like so? That's crazy. And it seems we're not done with the electronics for T-Rex itself. Cable are sticking out. So let's move on to magazine number 26. Magazine number 26, the last one for today. Let's get started. Not so many pieces, a lot of smaller pieces like screws and washers, so take care to not lose them. I'm pointing fingers here at myself. And we have another grid where we just at first free the parts. I don't know why they do that like this now. They started out having everything loose, but that's fine, it's easily done. And as I assumed, it's one arm of the T-Rex. We take one of the metal claws here and one of the plastic parts. The one with the little hole in here. There are two. Not this one. That one. And we just insert it inside the claw. Like so. And of course, we screw it together with one of the silver screws. We have black and silver screws, we use the silver ones. Next part, take this plastic one and one of the side of the claw that we just assembled. Click together, other half of the claw, and screw it together. And this time, we don't only need the silver screws, we also need the metal washers for that. To have an exact way how to do this for you, you take one of the small silver screws, put a metal washer on it, and then insert that in here, in the screw hole, for the metal claw. On the other side, you take this small transparent rubber washer and put that on top there for the screw, and then you take the plastic and the other side, you mirror that and screw everything together. It looks simple, but it's messing around a lot. So you take the big claw, as I said, take the screw, metal washer on top, put it in the screw hole, then you take the small claw, put on each side of it a rubber washer, attach that here, and then you screw the screw and you have an end result which looks like this. We have this plastic piece which comes on top of here to close this off, and for that part it's one screw hole. We need one of the black screws. Next step, we take the other claw, the bigger one, the leftover plastic piece, and slot that in here and screw together with one of the silver screws. It should look like this. Final touch, we take our last screw and these two pieces, put that together and screw it, and we're basically done. And that's the first part of a T-Rex arm. Movable, of course, like the 90s toy, for example, or SoC. And that's basically that for today. End results for 26 magazines so far. 1, 2, 3, 4 heads done. Well, T-Rex is, I would say, like 95% done. Some electronics missing, that's fine. And some smaller stuff, arm, feet. But anyhow, thank you for watching, thank you for the support, and we see us next time when it's time to build a Megazord.